All right, good morning. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to KENS 5. We are in the Digital Center talking about clearing skies. We still have cold weather in place. Temperatures are going to struggle to get out of the 50s all day today, despite the sun appearing out from the clouds this afternoon. Matter of fact, most areas across San Antonio are seeing more sun. The clouds have dissipated and moved farther south, and temperatures will respond. They're not going to get extremely warm. We'll be below normal, right around 60 to 59 this afternoon for a high temperature. And then progressively through day by day, by the end of the week, as we move into the first weekend of 2026, will be a lot warmer. Even by Friday, I think we'll be back in the upper 70s, near 80. So changes are on the way. If you don't get the cold weather, just wait a few days and it'll certainly change here, especially in our neck of the woods and across Texas. Speaking of Texas, now, if you're doing any traveling for New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, if you're going to Austin, Houston, Corpus Christi, up towards Amarillo or Lubbock, weather looks great. Each and every afternoon, it'll get progressively warmer and warmer, more mild. The mornings will stay cold, I will say, through early tomorrow and early Thursday. So every single morning, just like the last couple of weeks, despite it being a little warmer in the afternoons, Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, the afternoons will be warm, but the mornings will stay chilly. Matter of fact, I think tomorrow morning in San Antonio, we probably drop to about 36 to 37 in the city. That means the hill country could see a very, very light freeze tomorrow morning. It'll be dependent on if there's any additional cloud cover that moves in. Sometimes that can inhibit temperatures falling off rapidly. But right now, we're expecting some areas in the hill country like Kerrville, Fredericksburg, out near Rock Springs, they could, drop to 32 to 31 briefly tomorrow morning. Not going to be a hard freeze, but a light freeze is anticipated for early Wednesday, which we'll show you in a second. First, temperatures around the region and around the nation. You compare San Antonio 51 at this hour to the single digits in some spots across the Great Lakes. Lake Superior, for example, Minneapolis, they're picking up on a temperature at 17, but just north of Lake Superior in southern Canada, Thunder Bay is at 1 degree right now. It is in the single digits. Cold Arctic air continues to spill farther south. Matter of fact, most of the nation is a lot colder, and we're about 10 degrees colder than Dallas right now, and Rapid City towards the Dakotas, they're in the 40s for lunchtime. So, and if you don't like it, again, wait a few days, because it looks like by Thursday and Friday, a different weather pattern takes over, not just for Texas, but for the entire U.S. Matter of fact, through the weekend into early next week, more of the same, more of the warmth built back in, and above average heat. That means temperatures back in the 70s and 80s by this end of the week. So we'll talk about that in detail in a second. All right, so let's talk about the pollen count. It is a lot different. Matter of fact, the winds these last couple of days since the cold front came in Sunday night, mountain cedar has jumped up pretty significantly. It's heavy over 11,000. Molds are heavy over 1,200. It's this time of year, between now and about early February is when mountain cedar really peaks. As a matter of fact, let's take a look at this really quickly. Because, this time of year, a lot of folks react to it. We get the sniffles, we start sneezing uncontrollably, and we get those kind of symptoms. Now, the peak average count is around 20 to 25,000. The highest count last season was 9,600. Now, you compare that, back in early February, that was the highest count back last winter, 9,610. Compare that to today, it's way above that, 11,840, and we could easily see up to 12, 14, 15,000 in the next coming weeks because we're approaching the peak of mountain cedar season. All right, so New Year's Eve, if you have any plans outdoors, looks awesome. It's going to be beautiful. Today, chilly, 60 to 59 for a high. Tomorrow, 64 to 65, so just a smidge warmer. And then if you're celebrating with any family, friends, ringing in the new year, clear, couple clouds, winds will be light, 5 to 10. And then by midnight, as we go into 2026, probably a little chilly, 49 to 50 is what we're looking at under mostly clear conditions. So that's a look at New Year's Eve for tomorrow night. If you're going to Hemisphere and the celebrations around San Antonio, looks great, looks beautiful, and the weather should be cooperating as well. Outside right now, it's clear. We have a lot of blue skies fighting through, and cloud cover is moving out. Temperature right now at about 51. We dropped to about 43 to 42 earlier this morning in the city. 49 at Bulverde, 53 at Bandera, 50 at Victoria, 51 at Del Rio. Temperatures today near 60. Tomorrow a little warmer for New Year's Eve. But the big takeaway for the next few days is just tomorrow morning will be the coldest out of the next 7 days. And then progressively, day by day by day, into the early part of the new year, temperatures get gradually warmer. So tomorrow 65 and the 73 for a high. So here's what you can expect overnight. This is what I'm thinking. And of course, it's going to depend a little bit depending on cloud cover. If that moves in, that'll act as a blanket, and that could keep some spots a little warmer. But if we stay clear through tonight and through tomorrow morning, temperatures will fall off rapidly. What we call radiational cooling takes over. Calm winds, clear air, dry air, low humidity. All those are ingredients for radiational cooling. And when that happens in wintertime, in December, January, and February, temperatures go down fast. They plummet. So, and it looks like we're going to have that in place tonight. But again, just depending on the cloud cover, if it comes back for the hill country, we may see Boerne and Kerrville only drop to maybe 33 to 34. But from what we're seeing right now, I think maybe a light freeze in the hill country. Kerr County, Boerne, Fredericksburg, right around 30 to 32. And it's only a light freeze, so we're not expecting hard freeze conditions. If we drop to 32 or below in the hill country tomorrow morning, it'll only be for a few hours. So pipes are not going to be a problem. They're not. But for those who have sensitive plants, vegetation, of course, cover them if you haven't already. Bring those indoors. Of course, watch out for your pets and watch out for your neighbors as well. 37 in New Braunfels and San Marcos tomorrow morning. And the temperatures tomorrow, a little bit better for New Year's Eve, 65 degrees, 73 Thursday. And then we're back near spring-like air on Thursday and Friday. As a matter of fact, Friday, 83. Normal temperature this time of year is 63. So we're like 20 to 30 degrees above normal by the end of the work week. And then the first weekend of 2026 looks awesome. We'll be a little chilly in the morning, mid-50s with daytime highs in the mid-70s. Download the KENS 5 app. It is free in the App Store. Guys, any additional updates on the cold fronts, on any additional weather changes, on any severe weather concerns in the future? We'll have details and updates and write-ups on our KENS 5 app from our KENS 5 weather team. So download that today for free. All right, so enjoy the next couple days, guys. So tomorrow, a little cold, mid-30s for San Antonio, probably a light freeze for the hill country just for a few hours at or below 32. Friday, 83, and then this weekend, phenomenal. Highs in the 70s, low humidity and temperatures in the morning, I would say perfect, in the 50s in San Antonio.